Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to give you my review of, well, I know usually we don't do TV, but this is a Netflix property. It's a Marvel's Netflix property. You know what, I'm thinking, since I didn't review Daredevil, I'm going to review Daredevil and Jessica Jones together and give you my rating of the two. I'm going to start with Daredevil. Daredevil was an action-packed drama crime. It was an action-packed drama crime kind of thing going on with a hint of ninja and a hint of superheroism. I mean, I don't know, I think I have talked about that. I think I have talked about Daredevil. Yeah, but like, well, if I'm just gonna restate what I said, then if I did talk about it, the guy playing Kingpin was great. The action was great. The hallway scene is very well known now because that hallway scene was awesome. I love the outfit for Daredevil. I even started to dig the black thing because he had the at first he didn't have the full body, Daredevil suit that we know. He had a black slick kind of suit that had no freaking protection whatsoever. But I loved that Daredevil. Daredevil was so much darker than normal Marvel usually does. Daredevil took over America by storm. Daredevil was a big deal. I really enjoyed Daredevil. It was awesome. It was a joy ride. And by the end of the show, I really was just looking forward to season 2. Now, and he doesn't get the name Daredevil till the end of season. Now, if I had to give Daredevil a rating as a show, I personally think Daredevil was the best show, comic book show out there. It was that actual individual show because it hit every layer without being cheesy. It was dark, but not just dark for dark's sake. It was dark because that character is dark. Unlike Man of Steel, Daredevil is that dark. That's how he is. He's really a dark character. I don't think Daredevil's ever been portrayed in a lighter tone. Batman's even been portrayed in a lighter tone, but Daredevil is that dark. So that show was awesome, and it wasn't just dark for the sake of being dark. The darkness actually had something to say. It had a well-rounded villain, one of the best, most well-rounded villains I've seen in a long time on any comic book show, period. So, Daredevil was my favorite TV show. Second comes up with Flash, and third comes up with the next show I just finished watching. And hell, that might be second too, but I'm kind of flippy-floppy between the two. But Daredevil, if I had to give it a grade, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I love the entire Daredevil. I binge watched it the day it came out. I binge watched the whole thing in like a day, and woke back up and I watched like 10 episodes in one day, and then just woke back up the next morning and watched the rest. So yeah, obviously I love Daredevil, and that's a 10 out of 10 for me. Daredevil all the way. Boom. Now, moving on to the show I've just finished watching. The show I have just finally capped off. Jessica Jones. Now, a lot of people don't know about Jessica Jones. A lot of people don't have no clue who Jessica Jones even is. Now, Jessica Jones is a in the comic book lore, Jessica Jones is really connected to a lot of different superheroes. For one, in the comic book, she went to school with Peter Parker, but she was really nerdy and she had a crush on Peter Parker. And funny enough, the one day she actually had the bravery to actually come up to Peter and kind of not confess her love, but approach him and talk to him. Guess what? He got bitten by a radioactive spider. Wonder what happened after that. You know what I mean? So, and then but one day after she's coming home from a trip, which is actually in the man, it's hard to, maybe I shouldn't explain her background story because a lot of her background is actually in the show, so it's gonna kind of make it. But I'm gonna just put it like this: she was a former superhero who was taken advantage of by a guy named the Purple Man. Now, the Purple Man is the main villain of this show, and he is an intimidating, scary villain. Not because he himself is intimidating, but because what he can do. In just the fashion he carries it out, he'll make someone kill themselves and not even think twice about it. It just goes over his head. It's almost a little freaky. Well, it's almost a little creepy and a little disturbing how calm he is about making someone do some horrible things. There's this Jessica Jones show. They flat out do things I have not seen in another comic book movie, even movies sometimes. First of all, there's a lot of sex in it. But it's not just pointless sex. It's because if you actually read the comic book Jessica Jones is based off of Alias, there's a lot of sex in Alias too. Hell, Jessica Jones takes a scene right out of the beginning pages of Alias when she sleeps with Luke Cage. Hell, they sleep together for 5 seconds into the first 5 minutes they meet. But that's the thing. This is the first comic book show thing that this show that I've seen two heroes sleep together. Not because they're in love, but because they just feel sexually attracted to each other. You know, it's the first comic book show I've ever seen that treated sex as, because nowadays, in this kind of world we live in, sex is thought of as this, you gotta be in love, like on TV. I mean, not in reality, because we know, and that's kind of what I thought was kind of cool about the show, is that the cool is thinking in realistic terms, and in realistic terms, you can sleep with someone without actually being like in love with the guy. You just wanted to sleep with them, and this is one of the few shows I've actually seen explore that. But I mean, granted, they end up getting feelings for each other that later and start feeling for each other, but at first it was just a sexual thing, which I thought was interesting. The guy playing Luke Cage is ridiculous. He is the perfect guy. I wasn't sure about the guy, never heard of the guy. Hearing him from the moment he started talking, I was just like, that's fucking Luke Cage. That's Luke Cage. The girl playing Jessica Jones is fantastic too. Fell in love with her character first 5 seconds. She's just such a hard ass. She's been through a lot. She got goddamn, what's that word? Post-traumatic syndrome, from being controlled by the Purple Man for months on end, her will being broken. But there's not much I can say about this show without giving away anything. So I'm trying my best not to go into the plot. So I'm gonna just knock on some of the characters. Jessica, Luke Cage, her friend Patsy Walker. There's so many characters that I didn't really clinch onto the name, but I clinched onto the faces. I clinched onto what they were doing. This show was some twisted shit, man. There was just one annoying ass bitch on this show. She's like one of Jessica's neighbors, and her and her brother are into some weird ass shit. It's actually hilarious. When her brother comes up to fight, because her brother kind of likes Jessica, so he comes up to offer her banana bread or something, and she's like, what the hell are you guys doing down there? And he's like, oh, we have tinfoil on the window. She's like, why do you know what? I don't even want to know. Because they are some weird, it turns out they're brothers and sisters. When you first introduced them, you think they're some weird, creepy couple into some kinky ass sex. And then it turns out, oh no, they're brothers and sisters, so what the fuck are they doing in there then? It was like, whoa, okay. And their sister is really, 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 his sister is really annoying. Oh my god, I wanted to punch that bitch in the face. Especially after she does something later in the show that just makes me want to punch her in the face. But yeah, Jessica's friend Patsy, who is her, she grew up with her because Jessica was adopted by her and her mother. Jessica's friend Patsy, she's like a freaking child star who grew up and she got her own talk show and shit. She's kind of one of those chicks, but she's a really do-gooder. I feel like some chick that Captain America would love. She seems like she's fucking Captain America's daughter or something. The way she acts sometimes. The way she acts sometimes. So, there's a lot of drop hints in this. There's hints at Daredevil. There's hints. I almost thought he was going to pop up. I really did. I almost thought Daredevil was going to pop up, but then he didn't. I was so okay, I can accept it. Because someone else from Daredevil pops up on the show. If you've been keeping up, you probably know who she was. Now, yeah, somebody else pops up, and there was a lot more of Luke Cage on this show. Be expected to have that. And I know Luke Cage is having his own show come out right after Daredevil Season 2, which is, I think in March. Yeah, I think Daredevil Season 2 is going to be in March. And then Luke Cage is the next season series up after that. Unless freaking Jessica Jones, blows up the world like freaking Daredevil did. Because Daredevil was not supposed to have a season 2. It was supposed to be Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. And they come together. But Daredevil was so good, that they had to put another season in. Same thing they did with Ant-Man and the Wasp. There wasn't supposed to be another Ant-Man movie till next time or whatever. But it was so well received that they just had to push. They were just like, you know what, let's go for it. So Jessica Jones, a damn good show. It's crime noir. That's if you're into those old school crime noir, it's like a modern day crime noir. Because she's an alien. She wears this she's a private investigator. She uses her skills to privately investigate people. Hell, the first scene you see her is taking pictures of somebody cheating on their husband. That's what people call it. That's her most paycheck. That's where most of her paychecks come from. Honestly, is wives thinking that the husbands are cheating on them, or husbands thinking that the wives cheating on them, and get the pictures of them and divorce their ass and be like, "What's this? Ain't bad business getting. Ain't bad business getting." I mean, granted, it makes enemies, but when she's got superpowers, I mean, I guess it helps. So, Jessica Jones. I really enjoyed this show. I binged it just like Daredevil, which should tell you how much I enjoyed it. I'm going to give Jessica Jones a 9 out of 10. I don't think it was as good as Daredevil, but I think it was better than Daredevil on certain points. It was darker than Daredevil. It was deeper than Daredevil. They went into the characters' minds a little bit more deeper than Daredevil. I liked... I really enjoyed the chemistry between Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. I even enjoyed the chemistry between Jessica Jones and her friend Patsy. Kilgrave, I didn't even bring him up. I almost forgot about him. He was I don't think he was as good as Vincent D'Onofrio playing Kingpin, but he was a damn close second. He was really, really good. Like I said, I didn't bring him up. Like I said, the creepiness that he had, the smoothness that he had to like just killing people, to just making people do some of the horriblest things. I mean, you will see some. This show gets so fucking dark, so fucking. First episode, man. First episode. Like, first episode just a punch. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck, yo? Like, and someone pointed this out. It feels like it's still in the same tone as Daredevil, so you can see it interconnecting. Which, honestly, by the time I got to the end of this show, I'm just like, I can't wait to see, what Daredevil has to say to Luke Cage and them. What Iron Fist is gonna, like, I can't wait. I was so hoping Daredevil was gonna pop up on the show. I guess he could have, but you'll see. He could have, sorta, if but he probably wouldn't have been any help because Kilgrave can control people's minds, or AKA the Purple Man. By the way, I'm just letting you know right here. He's not. If you're a fan of the Purple Man comic books or whatever the Purple Man, he's not purple. He's not purple. In the comic books, he's straight up purple. But they allude to it heavily. Like, they allude to it, and there's even a scene where he temporarily turns purple, but then he goes back. I thought he was going to be purple. I was like, holy shit, he's going to be purple. I was like, oh, they can actually do it. They can actually go through with it and actually make him purple. I was like, fuck it, do it. Make him purple. I mean, I don't care. I just figured, everybody else would be like, why is that mommy? Why is that man purple? But then again, you shouldn't be letting any little kid watch this show. Wow. I never thought I would ever see the tag Marvel, like Marvel Studios. This show was borderline rated R, bro. Like, this show was borderline rated R. Like, the shit that goes down on this show just makes me go, whoa. Okay. Alright. Okay. This is the dark, silly. I love what Marvel's doing. It's like the dark. Netflix is like the dark. Is like the other side of the coin. You got like the Marvel studio movies, like the the friendly movies that do shit but don't actually do shit. I mean, they do shit. I know some people kind of go, oh no, the kid are fine. I mean, have you not? Rob Downey Jr. drinks almost in every one of. Not only drinks alcohol. In the first Iron Man, he was having sex with a bunch of chicks. He's banging a bunch of chicks and gloating about banging a bunch of chicks. And he cussed at a kid in Iron Man 3. He called a kid a pussy in Iron Man 3. So, I mean, it's to a degree, yeah, it is. But to another degree, it's like, you guys are going a little far with that. Just because there's not blood, gore, and freaking, like, deep, dark colors and boring does not mean it's not good and it's just for kids. I hate people who say that. Marvel's for kids. No, it's just kid friendly. I mean, I'm sorry, but fucking DC's PG too. It's like it's talking like DC's rated R or something. And I dig DC, and I dig DC, but like outside of the Flash, and the Flash is starting to get CW-fied too. And I love the Arrow was my favorite freaking show the first season. Because that's before CW got to it. That's before it started getting all cheesy and crybaby and with all these different chicks. And I feel like Marvel, ironically, has a better can do it better without being so mellow, goddamn dramatic. So I'm digging Marvel's first two shows. I've knocked it out of the park. You got a 10 for one and a 9 for another. Thank you, and you should check them out on Netflix. Jessica Jones and Daredevil. They are really good shows. They're gonna be interconnected. They are all interconnected to the bigger cinematic universe. The movies, they're all interconnected to the movies. The movies may start referencing them eventually, so look out for that. Jessica Jones, great show. I give it a 9 out of 10. Thank you.